What's up, guys? I just want to let you know that I don't have a room to record, so there's a lot of stuff going on in my house. You are going to hear dogs barking, you are going to hear people gaming, you're probably going to hear some yelling and kids playing in the front yard. I will try to keep that to a minimum, but yeah, that's what you're in for today. I do promise this story is at least entertaining, or at least I think so. In today's piece, I'm actually working on a draw this in your style picture. I did post it on my Instagram, so if you want to go check it out, I would love that. And I've tagged the original artist. I think you should really check them out too. I will also leave links to all of that in the comments below. All that said, let's get to it. I don't really know if I'm supposed to do like an intro. So I was looking around on YouTube and I saw that everybody was doing these like my art teacher hated me videos, and a lot of artists were even kind of saying it was a meme, and I want to get in on that. And my dogs are barking. A lot of people were saying it was a meme, and every time I say meme, my dog barks, so that's cool. So here's my shitty teacher story. So my teacher that hated me wasn't actually an art teacher. My art teachers were all really cool. Like, there was one bad event that happened with one of my art teachers, and it was one of those things where we were both in a really shitty spot, and we kind of took it out on each other. And I feel really bad for a lot of the things I said to her, and because honestly, she was awesome. Like, none of my art teachers were really shitty. Like, they were all really cool. But I did have an awful math teacher. Like, he was the kind of teacher, and this is actually what started the problem. On our very first day of high school, my math teacher went out of his way to inform everybody that at least half of us would be failing his class. And this is something that teachers do a lot that I don't get. So it already makes me angry, but he said it so smugly that I just blurted out, like, completely on accident, well, doesn't that make you a bad teacher? And the moment that I saw the way he looked at me, I knew that I was in for trouble for the next 4 years. Like, it was going to be an issue. But, like, it wasn't just me he was an asshole to. Like, I got a lot of the worst of it, but he was an asshole to everyone. Like, if you weren't doing schoolwork... Oh my god. If you weren't doing schoolwork on a regular basis and then you turned in an assignment, he would congratulate you by slapping you on the back. And I don't mean like just a little pat like some people do in a friendly manner. No, he would, with his teeth gritted, slap your back and be like, "Good job, buddy, you did it, you finally did it, you got your homework turned in." Like, I am not joking, this guy was awful, and he wasn't out of school because he was tenured. It was a whole thing. He refused to retire. They forced him to retire 6 years after I left. Anyway, so naturally, he hated that I would draw in class. And let me explain something with me. The way that I learn is I have a photographic memory. So I would draw in class and listen, and then when I was thinking about answers for tests, I would go back to what I was drawing that day in class. And that's the way I remembered it. And it worked for me. I would consistently get hundreds and 102s because everyone gave extra credit on my tests every single time. I remembered the weird things, like how one of my favorite teachers' favorite color was blue. I would remember all of that because that's just how it worked for me. It worked really, really well, so that's what I would do.
Oh, those silly doggies, huh, Daisy? What are those silly doggies doing, huh, Daisy? Yeah, you guys can help yourself to Heinekens, too. They are not exclusive. They don't care. They have no loyalty. They're just as good for anybody. Dave, you want to go out here and kick this guy's ass? Let's go set this guy's up. Come on. Don't go. Ah.
Okay. For some reason, it was always the math teachers that hated this. Like, they were always the ones that would come after me for drawing. And he was the worst about it. Like, he would constantly stop class to yell at me for drawing. He literally disrupted his lessons and gave extra homework to just me, which I didn't do, because I was drawing in his class, and because he decided that since I wasn't going to take notes in class, it was going to be extra homework for me. And he was furious because, like I said, he started class saying, if you don't do all your homework, you're not going to pass my class. But because I aced every single test, and because of the way that scoring worked in my school, I was still passing his class with enough to have above a B average in my entire classwork. So yeah, he was a little upset with me. So one day, I'm sitting in his class, and I'm drawing and listening like I normally do, and he just stops. And I look up at him, and I can just see this terrible rage as he stares at my notebook. I can still legitimately picture the exact image that I was drawing at the time, because that's how imprinted this rage is on my brain. And he picks it up out from under my hands and throws it across the class. And I just look at him like, was that really necessary? And in response, he grabs my pencil, pulls it out of my hand, and throws that across the room too. So I ask if he's done, and he goes, "You should be taking notes." Now I have this problem with authority being that aggressive to me, and at that point, I cannot be held responsible for anything that comes out of my mouth, because yeah. Anyway, so he tells me that I should be taking notes, and my snap response is, how am I supposed to do that? My notebook's over there. He stops for a second and like takes a breath and clears his throat and just goes, "Pick it up." So of course, I'm shocked. Why should I pick it up? Which is exactly what I asked. So of course I ask why, and he tells me because I was told to do so. Naturally, my response was, "You threw it, you should pick it up." He stops again. He tells me, "Go to the office." Now, you should know that by now, I am a regular at this office. At exactly this time, for exactly no reason whatsoever. Anyway, the principal and I are pals because he's one of the only people at our school that actually comes to our shows regularly, because I did color guard. And so as I come into the office, he goes, "What's it for this time?" I explain the whole thing and expect the normal response of find a table and use the time as a study hall, or even head over to open study hall. But not this time. He's genuinely pissed off. He says, "Let's go," and I have no idea what's going on. So I think that I'm in genuine trouble this time, and like this is the day that I get expelled, okay? So I pick up all of my stuff and follow him, and to my surprise, we go back to the room. And he walks up in front of the entire fucking class and walks right up to this jerk of a teacher. And he points at my notebook and tells him to pick it up. And let me tell you, the fire of hatred in my teacher's eyes as he did exactly what he was told to do still haunts me to this day. But after all of that, because I like to live dangerously, I still had a major thing for his son. Thanks so much for listening. If you guys want to hear more stories like this, please let me know in the comments below. I do enjoy telling the ridiculous stories from my life, so I'm never one to shy away from attention. And if you have any questions about this piece, go ahead and let me know. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. Bye!